So I have this terrible habit. I think I'm just in a bit of a low period at the moment. The coughing fit she was having ended up making her sick. She's been doing so well with it. She hasn't been kind of getting all of her calorie or hydration requirements over the last couple of days. Avery's SATS monitor went off at 2 AM because her oxygen levels were low. And we got absolutely drenched. She's not in the mood today, guys. Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. Today it was my plan to do some kind of what Avery eats in a day. I thought that'd be a good video to film since she is tube fed and we are now on blended diet. However, Avery is quite poorly again. I wasn't kidding when I said it feels like she's never not poorly. She's come down with either something new or something she already had has gotten worse. Last night her saturation monitor really helped us out because it started going off. She started coughing and she was actually gagging on some of her secretions. So luckily the SATS monitor woke us up and we were able to go into her room and just wipe her mouth and help her clear some of those secretions. That was at 4 in the morning. She didn't really settle much after that. She kept coughing herself awake and obviously it was quite difficult to get back to sleep after that had happened because we just wanted to keep a close eye on her. Today she's a bit peaky, a bit tired. She was vomiting a lot yesterday. The coughing fit she was having ended up making her sick. I don't know if it's reflux related, it could be. So we've just been sat here for a little while doing some stretches, haven't we, baby girl? I have noticed her arms seem to be a little bit looser than they were. I mean, they're still tight, but they are starting to get a tiny bit looser, which hopefully is the baclofen doing its job. But then the baclofen could also be making her reflux worse potentially, or it could be whatever illness she's got making her reflux worse. We don't know. For context, by the way, if you are new to my channel, hi, I'm Chrissy. I'm a mum of 3 and 2 of my 3 children have additional needs. My son Zachary has autism and my daughter Avery, who sat on my lap here, has cerebral palsy. Anyway, I did manage to speak to Avery's paediatrician over the weekend, who's going to chase up her respiratory referral to see if we can get a nebulizer in place. And we also have an appointment on the 13th of October to teach us some exercises just to help bring up those secretions as well. So hopefully we can get on top of this soon. For today, I imagine Avery and I are just going to be having a lot of cuddles. It's not going to be too exciting, which is why I decided not to do a what Avery eats in the day. Because number one, I don't know if she's going to tolerate all of her food today. And number 2, I'd rather just keep all of my attention on her. So this video will probably end up being over a few days or a week, so you guys can spend the week with us. Avery's just gone down for a nap, which is quite early for her. I mean, what time is it? It's 9:30, so it's quite early for her to have a nap, but she's poorly and then she didn't really sleep a whole lot after 4 o'clock this morning, so I'm not surprised that she's a bit more tired than usual. So this weekend, my husband and I realised that our fridge freezer wasn't working properly. It keeps kind of warming up and then cooling back down and then warming up, and obviously it's not very good for the food. So I mean, luckily we have a small chest freezer in the garage, so frozen food's okay for now, which means Avery's blends are okay, which is good. But ultimately we knew we had to buy another fridge freezer, which really wasn't in our budget at the moment, so it's not ideal. But we just didn't really have a choice, so that is due to come tomorrow. It's not black like all of my other appliances, it's actually silver, so hopefully it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. The kitchen is kind of mostly grey tone, so hopefully it won't. But yeah, it was just something else on top of everything else. I am absolutely rammed for the next 2 weeks with the things that I need to do and get done. I'm feeling stressed, tension levels are running high. I think I'm just in a bit of a low period at the moment. But it's fine, it'll pass, it always does. When everything stops going wrong, they say things come in threes, don't they? Anyway, I did take a little bit of time to myself when Avery went to bed last night, and I gave myself a bit of a lash tint and perm. So I feel a little bit better about myself for doing that, since I know I look a mess today. I am breaking out. My hair's a mess, and yeah, I'm just a mess at the minute. Zach does have karate later, so I'm gonna go and do half of the food shopping, but obviously I can't go and buy fridge stuff because I don't know if it's gonna get ruined, so I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow evening to buy fridge stuff. So that's the plan. Zach has an appointment tomorrow night anyway, so I do have to go out of the house anyway, but I'm calling today a bit of a write-off. I think I'm just gonna sit and cuddle Avery for most of the day, watch TV, and try and get as much food down her as I can. She hasn't thrown up yet, which is good, but I didn't give her all of her breakfast. I just want to err on the side of caution because there's no point in filling her tummy if she's just going to bring it back up. I'd rather give her a little bit less than usual and her actually be able to keep it down. This is the situation we're working with at the moment. We've had to like freeze water bottles. If you saw the video where I was sorting out my garage, then you'll know that my husband keeps water bottles in the garage, so they have come in handy. We've had to freeze them and pop them in the fridge along with ice packs. My husband put Avery's yogurt in the cooler bag just to make sure they stay nice and cold. We're basically just trying to salvage as much food as we possibly can. We are just really lucky that we didn't have a fridge full of food. It was the end of the week, so it was a bit better anyway, but still, it's never really a good thing to happen, is it? Also, behind me, my mum recently went to London for an event and she bought the kids bag these little sticker charts. She said they're from the Paddington Bear shop. I've never been to London, so I've got no idea where or what that is, but I'm guessing it's a shop themed around Paddington Bear. But it's like a little reward chart, so they've each got their own little tasks. Some of them are the same. I think I want to add one more to these actually, and that is to walk to school nicely, because they tend to mess around and fight on the school run. I don't know what it is, but they seem to like to just be ahead of each other all the time. They're both just really, really competitive. But yeah, they've all got their own little tasks, and then each day they do those tasks, they get a sticker, and they are really, really excited about it. Yay! Look what's finally arrived. Thank goodness. I don't think you realise how much you take a fridge for granted when you haven't got one in the house. I've had to take a bit of a break from sorting the fridge out. I've managed to get it all out of its packaging. It just about fits in the gap. Like literally there is no space by the wall, there is no space by the cupboard. It is just fitting, and I'm hoping I can get it all the way through because I've got it edged out a little bit at the minute just so that I can get behind it to plug it in when I need to. I'm still letting the gases settle. But little lady is due for her lunch, aren't you, Pudding? She is still full of this horrible cold, but luckily last night her SATS monitor didn't go off. She had a bit of a better night's sleep. She threw up her breakfast a little bit this morning, so I'm hoping she keeps this down. She did keep her snack down, but obviously that wasn't as big as a meal. So fingers crossed this stays down today. Hey, Pudding. She hasn't been kind of getting all of her calorie or hydration requirements over the last couple of days, just because we've had to be careful with how much we're giving her, because if we give her too much with the way she's feeling at the minute, yeah, she just throws it back up, and what's the point in that? So gonna be a little lady now, aren't we, Puds? Do you want to say hello? You say hello? Yeah? You give everyone nice smileys. No, Mummy, I don't feel very well. She's not in the mood today, guys. Morning guys, it is another new day, isn't it, Pudding? Another rough night last night, unfortunately. Avery's SATS monitor went off at 2 AM because her oxygen levels were low. I've spoken to her paediatrician about this before. Oxygen levels can get a touch lower when they're poorly, especially because she's stuffy. I mean, you might be able to hear it. She's breathing quite heavily because her nose is all blocked. So I wasn't panicking too much about it. If it had have gone lower, I probably would have panicked, but it was kind of in the low 90s, and I have her SATS monitor set to alert me if it goes below 92%. If it had gone into the 70s or even the 80s, I probably would have panicked, but because the paediatrician told me that it can get a bit lower when she's poorly, I didn't panic as much. Please don't take that as medical advice, by the way. That is just what my paediatrician has told me about Avery. If you have a SATS monitor and your child's oxygen is lower than normal, then definitely seek medical attention. We've got the suction machine out at the moment, and the last couple of days I've just been using it just to help clear her nose because she's breathing through her nose and she's struggling with it, so it just helps clear the snot out, doesn't it, eh? She hasn't thrown up since yesterday morning, which was a really good sign, so I am hoping that she's coming out of it. But we're sticking to comfy clothes today, aren't we, Pudding? I was going to try and do a little bit of tummy time on the ball because she's been doing so well with it. I'm going to try. I don't want to push her too much because obviously she is poorly and she needs to rest. We've just had an appointment with Avery's community nurse, and we actually got quite a lot done in this appointment. So Avery has been struggling with granulation tissue ever since she had her G-tube surgery. If you've had experience with a G-tube, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but if not, then it's basically a build-up of scar tissue. So if you've ever had a keloid with a piercing, that is essentially what it is. It's like the body's way of working extra hard to heal a hole, I suppose, that shouldn't be there naturally. So she's got granulation tissue. We're really struggling to shift it, so she's taken a swab and she's sending off some pictures to tissue viability, and then hopefully they'll be able to advise us on what to do next, because we've tried an awful lot to try and get rid of it. We've been using pads and creams and all sorts. She also brought with her a nebulizer, so Avery's paediatrician obviously got in touch with her and she brought out the nebulizer, so we've just given that a go for the first time. And when I took the mask off of her face, she was just covered in spit and snot. So obviously it works. So the plan from here on out is to use it morning and evening until we see the respiratory physios next month. So I'm going to have to figure out a setup if we're going to be doing that, because we're going to have to keep the suction machine and the nebulizer out all the time, because it'd just be stupid to keep putting it away if we know we've only got to get it out again. So I will show you that setup at some point when I figure it out, maybe later in this video, but for now little lady is absolutely shattered from all that, and you can see she's already falling to sleep. So I'm gonna get her down for a nap, and I will either catch up with you later today or tomorrow. So I have this terrible habit where if I change one thing in a room, I have an itch to change everything. So I've changed my living room around a little bit. So it's not the prettiest, but it is the most practical way I can think of for now. First of all, we have an Avery. A grumpy Avery, I might add. Oh no, you're not grumpy. Are you proving me wrong? Are you gonna give us a smiley? I see you. No, she's grumpy. But anyway, this side unit was actually next to the sofa here, and then the sofa was pushed over, butting towards those shelves over there. But I needed to bring this side table out, so I had somewhere off the floor to keep Avery's suction machine and nebulizer. Since we're going to be using those more than once a day, they're better off just being out. So I moved the sofa over. And then I've also put Avery's playmat square things here for the time being, just so that we can get rid of the yoga mat. You guys know I do want to get some kind of rug slash playmat slash pretty playmat slash washable rug, something along those lines to go here. But for now, I just thought this will do. And it keeps Avery off the hard floor. And then over here is a little bit of a mess, but I've basically just got all of Avery's toys and stuff. And then her ex-panda is in this corner. I needed somewhere that wasn't obstructed for this to go, because obviously we need to pull it out. But yeah, that's basically it. This is temporary. I know for a fact I'm going to be changing everything around again at Christmas time to make room for the tree and stuff. But like I said, I do want to get a rug or a mat or something. So this will have to do for now, won't it, Pudding? Yes? Do you like it? Do you like it? Morning guys, the boys have just gone off to school. It is a dreary day today. The heavens opened when we were walking to school and we got absolutely drenched. My legs are soaking wet. Luckily I was wearing a hooded coat, so I managed to keep dry on the top half, but oh, it's not a very nice day. We've been using Avery's nebulizer since yesterday. We used it twice yesterday and I used it again this morning, which you would have seen. She's tolerating it much better than I thought she would. I mean, she clearly doesn't like it, but I thought she wouldn't tolerate it at all, and she does, which is really, really good. And when you take the mask off her face, she is covered in a lot of snot and gunk, so obviously it is doing its job, and then we just suction that out. So I'm really pleased that we have that. I'm hoping that that will help make her feel a little bit more comfortable. I haven't done Avery's hair yet, and one of you guys said that you thought I should try space buns on Avery, and I 100% agree. I think that that would look absolutely adorable on her. So while we're just sat here watching Frozen, of course, I think I might just try and do her hair a little bit. Shall we do your hair? One of my favourite pastimes is to play with Avery's hair, but she doesn't always let me, unfortunately. And there we are. Not the neatest or most even of space buns, but they're space buns, and they put. Don't you look pretty? And your hair's all out your face now, which is what we want. I'm just heating up some pasta because it's the time of the week again where I need to stock up Avery's batch blends. Avery's getting quite tired, but I'm really trying to hold off until after 10 o'clock so I can give her a snack before she goes down for a sleep. It's 9:30 now, so she doesn't have too long to wait. But for her blend for the next week, I suppose, I am making whole wheat pasta with cream cheese and avocado. And I know that sounds gross, but hear me out. I was thinking if you mix avocado with cream cheese, it would actually make quite a nice pasta sauce. I would definitely eat it, and it involves all 3 food groups. It's going to be really high in calories, which is what we need. So that's what we're doing. My husband came home with these gorgeous flowers and a box of chocolates last night. I'm a lucky girl. I think that is going to be it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed spending a few days with us. If you did, then please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you want to follow us along on our journey. And with that said, I will see you all in a few days with another video. Bye guys.